Hey there, my friends. My name is Cherry Gordon, coming to you live from Somerset, New Jersey. Today, I wanted to hop on, do a quick live about some of the questions that I've been getting from some of my actual clients and from people on YouTube asking me some very specific questions. So today, we're going to do a deep dive into something called baby planks. We're going to cover what baby planks are. We're going to talk a little bit about when you can expect your baby to start doing planks, when to be concerned if your baby is not able to at least do like a modified plank. So we're going to take a look at a couple of different things. First of all, your baby should start doing planks when they are about 6 months. And if your baby is 1 to 2 months, do not expect them to do planks. Don't try to put them on their tummy and have them doing planks or anything like that, because it's not going to work. You're just going to frustrate yourself and your baby. So why are planks important? Planks are important because you want your baby to be able to strengthen their arm muscles, strengthen their chest, strengthen their shoulders, strengthen their core and their back. Now, the reason for this is that these are the muscles that baby is going to need when baby starts to actually crawl around on their hands and knees. Another reason that I encourage my parents and show them how to do planks with their babies is because this is the functional position of your wrist. Now, we're going to do a quick bit of anatomy here. If you flip your wrist down this way, those of you at home watching, do it, and try to make a fist. You'll find that your fist is not very tight. Your fist is not very good, and you can actually feel your forearm muscles contracting already, like they're tight, even before you're able to make a fully tight fist. The reason for that is this is the functional position of your wrist. Now, when you have your baby on their hands and knees, down in the plank position, you are positioning baby's wrist in that position so the baby can be able to bring their wrists up in that functional position and actually be able to use it later on when they are writing. Their hand is going to be up in this position. When baby is crawling around on their hands and knees, again, the wrists are going to be up. So the first thing you want to do is start off with lots and lots of tummy time. If you're on my YouTube channel, I have several videos about the importance of tummy time and how to encourage your baby to do tummy time and do tummy time well. So you want to check those out. Now, I have with me here a boppy that I normally take with me, and I encourage parents to get one. It's a fantastic piece of equipment, and you can use it to help you baby do tummy time, make tummy time easier, but you can also use it for early planking. When it comes to tummy time, that would be fantastic. But we're talking about planking today, so I'm going to use my assistant, Miss Annie. She's a doll, and obviously she is bigger than a 2-month-old. I would say she's got the size of like a 1-year-old. But anyway, so what you want to do if you're just starting off with planking, you could use a couple of different things. You can use a boppy, like I said, or you can just use your own leg. For instance, you can get down on the ground, put your baby where her chest is on your leg, on your thigh, and just put her hands down on the ground where the wrists in that upright position we just talked about, and have your baby in this position where you can bring a little toy for baby to look at and play with. I have a little mirror that I have over here. We can set that up really quickly. Now, I like this mirror because it's very simple. I think I got this one from Amazon, and baby can look at herself while you're actually doing some planking. So again, what you want to do is have the mirror positioned there so that baby can look at herself. Put her where her chest is on your leg, and then you can use your hands. You can see I'm using my fingertips to stabilize the elbows so that baby is actually her hands. You want to make sure that the hands are not balled up into a little fist. You want to take your time and spread those fingers out and make sure they are flat on the ground like this. So when you do that, first of all, you can see that baby is not taking her entire body weight on her hands. Most of her weight is actually on my leg. And this is a great way to start off doing a plank and hanging out in the plank position. You want to do a plank for a couple of seconds at a time. If baby begins to look like they're tired, you can pick her up, give her a hug, comfort her, calm her down, make sure that she is relaxed. You don't want to be doing this right after your baby has just eaten, otherwise baby might wind up puking and that'll ruin the whole session. But you want to make sure you start doing some planking, I want to say as early as like 5 to 6 months, and keep on working. What you are actually working up towards is your baby being able to tolerate being in not just in the plank position, but where you can bring the knees under baby's bottom and put her in the plank position on her hands and knees, get behind your baby and actually rock baby front to back. One, I have her feet up against my leg so that her feet doesn't slide out. I'm making sure that the knees are under her hips and that the hands directly under her shoulders. You can use your fingertips at her elbows to help her keep her elbows straight. You can use a toy, you can use another person off over here to make sure that baby stays engaged, and just show her how to gently rock herself front to back while she's on her hands and knees like this. And these are a great way to prepare baby for the next stage of gross motor development, which is actually going to be crawling. So that is one of the main reasons that I like to do a lot of planking with the kids that I work with. I feel like it really helps to strengthen the chest muscles, strengthen the arm muscles, the shoulder muscles, and just give baby that sense of control when they're on their hands and knees. If you find that when you are doing this exercise that your baby has their fists balled up, or if you're focusing on spreading the fingers out on the right hand and the next thing you know the left hand has balled itself up into a fist, what I want you to do is just stop, take a breather, put baby to sit in between your legs like this. Give baby a little toy or something to play with or to at least look at and engage, and you can start to work on doing some wrist stretching. Look at your baby when the baby's asleep and make sure the baby's not sleeping with their thumbs in their palm like this. If they are, then take it out. Your thumb is an opposable thumb for a reason. It's supposed to be out there. It's not supposed to be in the hand. That will impact baby's fine motor skills, and it will prevent baby from actually being able to grab and grasp and hold on and start picking up things. Also, one of the ways that you can stretch baby's wrists and finger muscles, you want to bend the elbow. The wrist, if your baby has what's called a wrist drop, where baby's wrist seems like it's down this way, where it drops down, what you're going to do is gently bring the wrist up and then straighten baby's elbow while keeping the wrist up. And so now what you're doing is you have the wrist in this position and you're stretching all of baby's forearm muscles and the finger muscles. Doing that will help baby to achieve this position more easily and be able to stay in that position, keep your hands apart. What you can also do when you have baby on their hands and knees, or have baby over your leg like this, is encourage baby to start actually reaching and touching a toy one hand at a time. Now, a couple of tips you might want to pay attention to. If you put your baby into this position and baby immediately collapses onto their face, well, first of all, you see I'm doing it on a foam mat. So that's what you want to do. If you have a floor, you're going to use some sort of a blanket to put baby on while you're trying this, especially if you are doing it for the very first time. And what you want to do is give baby some support under her chest. So if you have baby in this position and you notice that her arms are not strong enough in the beginning, what you can do is take your other hand and put your hand under baby's chest. So give her a little bit of extra support. You could also use your right hand to give her a little bit of support on her bottom and kind of push her bottom down this way. That'll bring the head up and allow baby to actually be able to bear her weight on those hands. Again, you want to pay attention and make sure you are keeping your fingers flat on the ground so that baby can actually bear their weight and actually start doing kind of a mini push-up. Now, let's say you tried this and you're like, okay, my baby's tone is too low. My baby is not strong enough. She's just collapsing. Then what you want to do is modify the position and do what I like to call a modified plank. So what you can do is put baby to sit in between your legs, facing away from you with a toy in front of her. Now, what I like to do is, like I said, I'm sitting with baby in between my legs. I'm doing this for a very specific reason. If she's going to lose her balance, she will fall backwards onto me or to either side onto my legs and not hurt herself. Our body has built-in mechanisms to protect the head and the face, so that if she starts to fall forward, she will put her hands down and prop herself. That is actually another position you can try, as if baby is not able to plank and you want to start working on just bearing weight on those hands. What you can do is have the mirror position kind of like this. Take baby's hands and put their hands on the ground. Make sure the fingers are flat and spread out. Put baby's hands on the ground and let her prop herself up. Now, you can take your hands, put it around her trunk, and give her a little bit extra stability. If she leans forward and she puts her hands out and she's still going, you want to absolutely catch her. Couple of tips that you can use. These are some pro tips. You can take her feet, put her feet a little bit wider apart. What this does is it will increase her base of support. Once you increase the base of support, she'll feel much more stable and much more confident. You then lean her forward slightly. Once baby is in that position, you can take your hands, put them on her elbows, and give her a little bit of support if you feel like, okay, every now and again, the elbows look like they're getting ready to buckle. So once you do that, you'll be able to stabilize a couple of things. There's a term in physical therapy called stability before mobility. In order for baby to feel confident that they can reach for things and grasp things or grab for something outside of her reach, she needs to feel confident that she can actually sit and prop herself up. So you want to start off by giving a lot of support around her trunk. And then as you notice, you will be able to tell, okay, you know what, she's doing it a little bit. You can then ease off, maybe come to the shoulders and come to the elbows until eventually you might be able to just sit here and let her prop herself up and bear her on her hands while sitting, while looking at herself in the mirror. You can bring the mirror up so she can see your face. You'll be able to see your face and talk to her while she's in this position and propping herself up. So those are a couple of the techniques that you can use to start off where you're making you're making the plank position as easy as possible in the beginning, but then you're gradually increasing the amount of difficulty and how challenging you're making it for baby as your baby gets stronger. It's kind of like a feedback loop that's going to be happening between you and your baby. As baby begins to show you that, yes, she is developing more trunk strength, yes, she's getting more and more stable, then you begin to back off and give baby less and less support until baby's actually sitting independently. All right, so that's it, my friends. I am going to sign off. I hope that you got some value from it. If you feel like while you're here and while I'm here, if you have a question, drop your question in the chat and I will see it and I can answer it. But I do believe I've covered most of the types of questions that I've been getting. I do believe we talked about the importance of planking, when baby should start planking, how to gradually make planking a little bit more challenging as you move forward and baby goes through those growth motor milestones as baby gets stronger and stronger. Okay, so that's it for today, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for those who hopped on, and I will talk to you later. Signing off from Somerset, New Jersey. Bye.